Hi, Funky. You know, people ask me how I came about my discovery of getting a hold of oneself or one's conscience through the vow of honesty. Well, years back, I was on the road to find out, like the Cat Stevens song goes. I was out trying to be a professional comedian, and I accidentally did everything right. And I had a universal, compound, mystical experience that took me to the core of the fifth dimension, our unseen nature, which is right in front of our faces. And this is what we're made to go to move into. And this can happen to you too. What happened to me was similar to what happened to Moses in Judaism, Saul of Tarsus in Christianity, and Sri Ramakrishna in Hinduism. This universal compound mystical experience, what happened was a cloud appeared before me. And in the cloud were heads of people of all different ethnic backgrounds. And this told me that we're all the same inside. And this is the universal self, the universal mind, the universal consciousness, our unseen nature. I call it the same self in our different bodies. And then I had firelight going off my whole body. I heard my psychology of consciousness professor, Dr. Samgay from the University of Wisconsin, Oshkosh, voice the cone. He gave us in class from Zen. Where's our traps? Where's our traps? And from then on, I was tuned into everybody's consciousness, realizing that we all have this ability. It's the same self in our different bodies, and it's just something we just need to awaken to. And that is what I have in my book. You can go to garyhobbins.com and check that out. But how this all started with my conscience was I'm 7 years old. I'm in Roman Catholic school. We have to do our first confession. And Mark goes in front of me where all the kids are all real nervous and everything. Mark goes in, does his confession. He comes out and he looks me in the eye and he goes, "He said I made a bad confession. Now I got to go in there." So I go in there. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. This is my first confession. I stole 50 cents out of my mother's purse when I was 5 years old, and I went to the candy store and I bought candy bars and candy. Did you pay it back? Yes. Well, of course I didn't. And so the confession gets over. You made a good confession. So there I am walking around for years thinking, oh my God, I'm going to go to hell because I lied in my first confession. And I was too afraid to go to my second confession and say, bless me, Father, but I lied in my first confession. So I was just handicapped with my conscience, and that's what tuned me into my conscience. And then when I went out and did stand-up comedy, I was totally honest with myself and formulated that conscience had the blasting, tuned in mystical experience to our unseen nature, which can happen to you too, and it's all in my book. garyhobbins.com. Bye, Funky.